Welcome to the Boxing Day Test match at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. These are the highlights of the first day's play, India and Australia. Well, surprises, I'm afraid, for the Australians as soon as they arrived at the ground. Greg Ritchie, who made 100 and a very, very good one in Adelaide in the opening Test match of this series, reported with a foot injury. He has a broken toe in his left foot, and the one next to it is cracked as well, and he had to withdraw from the match. So the team card read this way: Phillips and Boone, Marsh, Border, Hooks. Steve Waugh comes into the side for Greg Ritchie. Then Matthews, Bright, McDermott, Reid, Gilbert, and Hughes, who was the replacement for Gilbert if he'd missed out on that fitness test, is 12th man. The Indians have brought in Shivaramakrishnan, and they've left out Chetan Sharma, who is 12th man, so they have a terrific spin attack there, and it should be a great contest between these two teams. Ian Chappell spoke to the Australian skipper Alan Border just before the start.
Alan, you a little surprised to be sent in?
Not really, Ian, because it looks as though it's got a fair bit of moisture in the track, and I suppose if you can take a few early wickets, it goes a long way to sort of giving a chance of winning the game, because the history of the wicket over the last couple of years is it's been playing reasonably well in the last couple of days, so if you can make inroads early. But, I'm not that upset about batting first.
Well, that's full of interest, and Tony Greig, when he gave his pitch report, said there's a tremendous amount of moisture under the surface out there. It could be quite lively as far as the pacemen are concerned. Very good toss for Kapil Dev to win, and I suspect there'll also be a bit of spin there, but at the moment we're not sure how much. At any rate, here's Kapil Dev bowling the first over. It's the second ball. He's bowling to Wayne Phillips. Your commentators are Ian Chappell and Bill Lurry.
So a bit of shine has already gone from the new ball, and there goes a bit more as Phillips definitely plays a shot at that one. 2 to Phillips, and that gets the score moving for Australia.
The ball will move off the seam and will swing. I think Phillips should attack. That's his natural game, and David Boone is more a defensive player to pick up the line and length and make the bowlers bowl to you.
That's a good shot from David Boone. Loves the ball on his pads, and that gives Ravi Shastri quite a chase. The wicket pretty well in the middle of the ground, so the boundaries on either side quite long.
It's Roger Binney now to Boone.
That's a good shot. So you've also got to be able to pick up the loose one and put it away when the opportunity comes. So that's good batting from David Boone, who seems to have really enjoyed batting in this opening position. Once again, David Boone showing his liking for the ball pitched on leg stump. First boundary of the morning. And a nice little boost there for David Boone. Australia, none for 16.
Ravi Shastri to Phillips.
Well, I suppose it's a bit difficult to say. They must think all their Christmases has come at once. But they must be very happy at the moment, because that ball is turning, and the Australians having a little trouble keeping it out. No wicket for 19. Oh, and the question asked there, that one going on with the arm. That is a good ball from Ravi Shastri. Just skids on a little bit, and it caught David Boone by surprise. The big worry for Boone would be a little inside edge that bobs up to one of those two close by, and the question asked there is that one doesn't turn, goes on with the arm. Those are the two things he's going to have to worry about. The one that goes through straight and traps him LBW. Let's see if we can pick that in this ball. Does well in the end to get down and play it. Oh, there's a big appeal there. That's out. Got him. Yes, he looked as if he was going to get out LBW at some stage to the ball that went on with the arm. It was only really a question of time, and David Boone playing from the crease there, trapped plumb LBW.
I just mentioned that last ball before that one that got him out, Tony. That was the one that was troubling. He couldn't quite pick the one that was going on or the one that was spinning, and that certainly did come in from outside off stump. And Dick French then with Boone playing back. Fairly simple decision for an LBW decision. So David Boone out for 14. Australia lose their first wicket with only 22 runs on the board.
Shastri to Jeff Marsh. good sweep against the spin. Hit it right off the meat of the bat. And he's bowled round his legs, behind his pads, sweeping against the spin. And Phillips thought for a moment it may have come back off Kiamani's pads, but in fact it hit the stump on the way through. There was quite a pronounced noise.
Yes, we were unsighted, but the off stump, you can see the bail go off. That one spun back a long way. In fact, it's hit the front pad, Richie, and dragged it on.
Hit the front pad and then onto the glove and then back onto the stump. So the second wicket goes down for Australia. Both of them have fallen to the spinners, 2 for 26. Shivlal Yadav is the bowler. Alan Border takes strike. And there's a big answer. Smashed it back down the ground. And that gives him his 1,000 runs for the season, but that won't be foremost in Border's mind out there. He'll be thinking more of this ball that's kicking and spinning spitefully for the spinners.
Yes, a risk had to be taken, and Alan Border, there was hardly any risk in that. The feet to the pitch of the ball.
Swept very fine, 2 fine for Ravi Shastri and 4 more to Border.
Shivarama Krishnan now coming around the wicket to the left-hander. Hasn't had a lot of bowling so far on this tour. And gets to it on the full, and he's got the Australian captain. He's a very good fielder off his own bowling. Border got down the track to that one, got to it on the full, but only succeeded in hitting it straight back to the young man, who has got a very good pair of hands.
Yes, a full toss, a shake of the head from Border, and he hit it straight back to him. It hit the base of the bat, I'd say, and straight back to little Shiva, and up he goes, and that's a real big wicket for the Indians. Well, just a little bit lucky for him there, but it doesn't matter how you get them. At the end of the day, all that matters is that you get them, and Border's out. 3 for 1, 3 for 41.
Yadav to David Hooks.
Oh, and he's dropped him. Well, that one was played away towards mid-wicket, and Hooks, as a result of closing the face of the bat, got a front edge straight to the fieldsman. Shiva bowling round the wicket.
That's a good shot. Hooks getting to that one on the full, and he is a marvellous timer of the ball. The outfield is quite slow. They had a lot of rain overnight, but that one just goes into the deep cover boundary.
It's a beautiful shot by David Hooks. He does play it well. Down the wicket he comes, and that half volley which he made smashed through the gap at extra cover. Beautifully.
A field placement, short forward, a square leg, and a leg gully. They'd be looking for that little flick round the corner.
It's the one. It's the way he's got to play it. Now he's hit that one straight at forward short leg, and it's hit him on the arm. Sri Kant's the man there. He's pretty tough, actually. He's not enjoying it too much, because Hooksy did hit it very hard, but luckily for him it was in the fleshy part just above the elbow. That's a bad ball, and Hooks cutting it away square on the offside. Once again, the timing's good, and that'll probably just roll into the fence. So 4 to David Hooks. That's a short ball, smashed away square, nicely timed by Hooks, down to the boundary for 4. And once again, the forward short leg dives for cover. That's his 3rd boundary since lunch.
And that's very close. Oh, it might have just hit outside the line of off stump. David Hooks looking to turn that one away on the onside, and hitting across the spin. Was in awful trouble.
Kapildev to Marsh.
Hits the edge, and it's either gone down or not quite carried to Shivarama. By the way, he's got his head down, I would say it might have carried.
Yes, a very good delivery from Kapil Dev. Went away just a little. And one of those ones that you're not quite sure whether to come forward or whether it's going to carry. May have just got the fingers underneath it. Certainly was hard to pick up from this angle. We'll probably get a great look at it. Shivarama Krishnam, in fact, may have just got the fingers under it, but it was a tough catch.
And Hooks goes, or tries to go over the top, misses and is bowled by Ravi Shastri. So Hooks had been showing plenty of aggression since lunch. But finally, the steadiness of Ravi Shastri has won out.
David Hooks a few overs ago came down the wicket. On that occasion hit his pads, but no, this one didn't. Between the gap, bat and pad, picked up the leg stump, and David Hooks, who'd worked pretty well for his run since lunch, is a little upset at getting out. So David Hooks out-bowled Shastri for 42, and Australia now 4 for 90.
Shastri to Jeff Marsh.
Oh, and that was a nasty delivery. Jeff Marsh handled that pretty well. Took a piece out of the wicket.
Just thought this wicket may have quietened down just a little after lunch, but that's certainly not the case. That was a beautiful delivery.
Shastri to War.
And that was pretty courageously played there. A couple of nasty deliveries in that over from Ravi Shastri. Australia lucky to still be 4 down with the total at 92.
Kapil Dev comes in now. Steve Waugh is taking strike.
Apparently at one stage Steve was representing in 3 sports. As a junior, tennis player, soccer player and a cricketer. That's his the first one to really come off the middle of the bat here in Test cricket, and they'll get 4 all run for it.
And well run then too by Marsh and Steve Waugh.
Shastri to War. Good sweep.
There's a touch of class about that shot. Beautifully timed, went through with the shot, it drifted in onto leg stump. He put it away beautifully.
Shivarama Krishnan to War. And he's gone. Very well caught. That came off the edge of the bat very quickly, and he has picked up the wicket. Induced the batsman into the drive. Steve Waugh is gone. Caught that slip.
Caught a second slip. It was there, it spun away, the drive was on, and Kapil caught that beautifully. It went like a rocket to second slip, and the bowling change works, and Australia really in trouble now as Steve Waugh departs at 5 for 109.
5 for 112, and it really is tough out there for the batsman. The ball is leaping and taking a divot as well. Shot for 4. Nice stroke from Marsh. Placing was so good there. He waited for it. The ball just hung in the pitch a little bit.
Not easy to play shots when you're under such pressure from the ball spinning and jumping. Marsh timed that and found the gap in the ring of 4 on the offside. Protection there for the leg spinner.
That's safe. He didn't quite get it. Good running from Matthews. 3 more to Marsh.
Well, that's beautifully placed. Right into the gap at mid-wicket, and the ball racing away down towards the boundary. Well played, Jeff Marsh. He waited for the one that was slightly over-pitched, flicked it through the gap for another boundary. 5 for 125. It's in the air, and is it out? He's given him, yes, a little inside edge. And that's the end of a tremendous innings by Jeff Marsh. That ball spinning back, hitting the inside edge onto the pad, and then caught in the leg trap.
And a good breakthrough for India. Jeff Marsh, just a little lazy with that front pad. He only went halfway, and the bat ended up getting in front of it, picking up an edge and a clean catch to Shivarama Krishnam just behind the corner. So Yadav picking up his second wicket, and certainly Kapil Dev bringing about some good bowling changes, picking up the 6th Australian wicket with 127 runs on the board.
Ray Bright is the new batsman. He's just received a big cheer from this Victorian crowd. And why wouldn't they cheer the Victorian captain to the middle? Oh, and that must have been very close. Well, he didn't play a shot at it, and he may have batted up too far. Quite sure what happened there. Let's have another look.
Certainly caught the Indian wicketkeeper off guard, but going behind the leg, and you couldn't blame Kilmarnie then for not gloving that one.
And that's not the way to bat up.
It's a good shot from Bright. Good placement and also excellent timing. And Chetan Sharma won't cut that off. And a good boundary there to Ray Bright. Very competent batsman, Ray Bright, and especially so against spinners. Again, that square cut, beautifully placed. It's a long boundary out there. Amarnath has quite a chase, and he won't pull it back. Good shot from Ray Bright. Takes Australia to 6 for 163.
Beautifully played. That could be 6. Well struck over long on. There she goes. The second big hit of the day. That was beautifully timed, just moving into that half volley. And the crowd love it.
And good ball selection then too from Greg Matthews. He'd been playing with the pad. Obviously Ravi Shastri a little bit frustrated with that. He thought he'd pitch one up just a little further, and Matthews, equal to the task, picked it up beautifully and plonked it right over the boundary. That was a good shot. Whether Kapil Dev is just going to use these couple of overs, naturally try and pick up a wicket, but more importantly to get himself loose.
Beautifully played, Ray Bright. Winning into that half volley. They look for 4. Matthews is quick, but settle for 3.
277 wickets in total from his 73 tests.
Close, very close. Umpire Isherwood has a good look. Swung, he was a fraction forward. Well worth a shout. Beautiful piece of bowling. See the silly point in a short leg, quite close. Beautifully timed. Beats backward square leg. Full value for that shot. 6 runs off the over, 6 for 185. Beautifully played. The late cut, we don't see that very often, but that was beautifully timed.
And this crowd at the MCG really enjoying this partnership. And that was a beautifully timed shot from Greg Matthews. Just outside off stump. He didn't try to smash the cover off the ball. He protected the stumps first and foremost, and then brought the bat down on top of it.
The man on strike, Ray Bright on 28. He really has timed the ball very well. He's coming back after the tea break. He was 2 not out then, and he's hit some fine shots.
And he's played it onto his stumps or clipped his stumps with the bat, one of the two. But it was pretty good bowling. It followed him, the ball that came on with the arm, and cramped him for room with the cut. And Ray Bright is gone.
A similar delivery to the one that dismissed Boone, making a lot of room for himself to guide the ball down to third man, and he chops the ball into the top of the middle and off stump. So Bright, it's a guest, is out bowled a disappointed man. And what a great partnership from 127 to 193, and Bright's on his way for 28.
Ray Bright the man out, and Craig McDermott coming in to take his place. Ravi Shastri now about to bowl to McDermott. And safely away, or almost safely away, but there's a second sorry pigeon there.
He's got to be a pretty good fielder, or it's got to be a good feed out there. That pigeon, he's been hanging around all day, but he's proved his worth. He was just, well, Fijian. Well fielded anyway.
And that's gone. Well caught there at second slip by Kapil Dev, and a little bit too quick for McDermott. The Indian skipper took one earlier that he took with such nonchalance that the batsman wasn't sure what had happened, and much the same there.
Yes, he took a great reflex catch to dismiss Steve Waugh, and now Ravi Shastri takes it. That's 4, and McDermott is on his way, and Australia's 8th wicket down now for 195.
He's given that a bit of a belt. A big hit out there. Kapil Dev will have to take some notice of this. The fact that Matthews is so strong on the onside when he's hitting. He'll have to play a deep square, or more likely a deep mid-wicket. Yep. Good placing, and that's his 50. We'll take the third. Hello, welcome to the highlights of the second day's play of this second test match, Australia and India at the MCG. Yesterday, a day of drama with the spinners on top and Australia finishing at 8 for 210. When play began this morning, Matthews was on 54, Reed on 0, and the 3 spinners, Ravi Shastri, Shivlal Yadav and Shiva Ramakrishnan, had dominated things so far as the Indians were concerned. We pick up play now with just a bit of cloud around at the MCG. It's the third over of the day, 8 for 216. Reed is taking strike. Kapil Dev is the bowler.
Has given him. Well, Kapil Dev went over, and it looks as if he's in a bit of trouble, but Bruce Reed's in more trouble because he's been dismissed. Well, that wasn't a bad catch, diving forward and taking it, but Dev down on the ground there looks as if he may have done something to an ankle.
Yes, I think he definitely went over on that ankle in the follow-through. Perhaps that's taken just a little bit of the gloss from this dismissal, but clearly an inside edge onto the pad, and a great catch there at bat pad by Srikanth. But a lot of the concern there for Kapil Dev, the Indian captain, as he went over on the ankle, and Bruce Reed is out. So Kapil Dev picking up his first wicket. Bruce Reed out-caught Srikanth, and 9 for 216.
Shivlal Yadav from the members' end.
Gilbert, with all those fieldsmen around him, he's going to do well to keep it out. Oops, and even he thought that was close. That one came off the bat and then bounced down towards the stumps. Let's have another look.
David Gilbert playing the tail ender's favourite shot, just the push down to the spinner and just keeping it out of those stumps.
Ravi Shastri replacing Shivlal Yadav. Matthews steps back and tries to cut that one, and I tell you what, anyone who thought that the spin had gone out of this wicket, let's have a look at this one.
It's probably the most interesting delivery of the day so far. And look how high it bounces, and that puff of dust coming out of that wicket again. And that's certainly going to be the danger end down there. Look at it kick. Kirmani did well in the end to get a glove to it.
And the hardest part about playing those deliveries is if they bounce very high. Well, everything's ready for Matthews again. Down the wicket he comes, hits it in the air, into the gap on the offside. That's a lovely shot by Matthews. Showing a bit of aggression here to the quick bowler, Kapil Dev, and what an innings this is turning out to be for Australia. He now moves on to 68.
Ravi Shastri to Matthews. Shot and well placed. One of the things Matthews does so well, if he's going to hit, then he places the ball, he's taking it over the top of the infield, and he put that right between 2 men in the outfield. It's a good shot. It's over Shiva Ramakrishnan's head, miles back. And those tactics are very good. Now the pressure is right back on the spin bowler. Matthews can take his time. Perhaps play a little cut as he did in one of the earlier overs.
Magnificent stroke. Cleared the boundary by 10 or 12 metres, a big hit.
Now Matthews can go straight down the ground here. There is a mid-on 3 parts of the way to the boundary and a long off, but he can go straight down the ground, anything that's pitched up, or he can go past square leg if it's full toss. I don't think the captain will be too pleased about that.
No, and this well could be runs that put Australia in a position to really go on the attack when they take the ball. This was a bad delivery. Matthews goes to 90. And what an innings. Now probably go for Bay 13 or 15. The straight hits.
Well, there's a good shot. And beautifully played. A very intelligent cricket. He didn't rush down at that. He knew exactly where he was going to hit it if it happened to be pitched on the offside. And he carved it away over extra cover. Gave the fellow out at long off no chance at all. That's beautiful footwork.
3 balls bowled so far in this over. Plenty of tension for Matthews.
That's well bowled. Now 1 ball to go. This field placing now will be indicative of the way the Indians are thinking. Will they bring in all the men to stop him getting the single, which would bring him within 1 of his century? They're going to concentrate on a tight infield and still keep all those men around the boundary. Right, well, there's a single out on the offside between point and cover. Great effort. What a great effort.
Well, he deserves to be happy under very difficult conditions, and Dave Gilbert ran 40 metres then to congratulate his partner. A standing ovation from the members, the outer, and that was clipped the gloves, got a top edge and flew through the vacant slip cord, and standing ovation from his captain. What a wonderful Christmas it is for Greg Matthews and all the Australian public who love a fighter. A tremendous innings, beautifully played, and the crowd love it.
Gilbert has been a staunch ally out there for Matthews. The partnership's 46 at the moment. Matthews has made 41, Gilbert 4. And that is out. Caught behind, the end of the innings. But Matthews will come down and congratulate Gilbert and thank him. Gilbert will feel disappointed, but he did a terrific job there. And Matthews' first thought was to rush up to his batting partner and say, well done. And so it was.
Certainly was a great innings from Greg Matthews. And I think a great moment for Australian cricket. They come up off the mat. They fought very hard, the lower order. And a standing ovation for a cricketer who's brought life back into the Australian team, not only with the bat, but also in the field. And Greg Matthews, a tremendous personality, makes his 200 of the season in Test cricket. Gets a wonderful ovation. He points to all points of the crowd, the outer, the members. And a great moment in his life, and I think a great moment for cricket in general. Well played, Greg Matthews.
What a performance that was by Greg Matthews. One of the best I've seen on this ground, and I guess it's one of the best I've seen on any other ground as well. He came in when Australia were 5 for 109, fought his way through. He had 2 distinct areas to his innings. One he had to battle through in yesterday's conditions, which were far from conducive to good batting, and today he had only Bruce Reid and Dave Gilbert with him. 100 not out, 74 out of the last 84 runs, a terrific performance. And those 2 partnerships this morning, Matthews and Reid 21 in 27 minutes, Matthews and Gilbert 46 in 48 minutes, and don't underwrite in any way the performance of Dave Gilbert. He played with great common sense and a lot of courage out there, wouldn't give way for a moment, and he saw his New South Wales partner through to 100 not out. The bowling figures for India, Kapil Dev 1 for 38 and Binny none for 11. Not used a great deal. Shastri 4 for 87. Shivlal Yadav were the 2 spinners used this morning. And Shiva Ramakrishnan didn't bowl. He remained at 13 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 51. So the Indians had 262 facing them when they went out to bat. They had Sunil Gavaskar, the century maker from Adelaide, and they had Chris Srikanth as his partner. Now he's a real dasher, and he proceeded to show the Australian bowlers just why he's so highly regarded as a dangerous batsman. Umpire French is the umpire at the southern end, where Craig McDermott is just about to bowl to Sunil Gavaskar. Here's Tony Greig, and with him is Max Walker.
Thank you, Richie. Well, the Indian innings now underway. McDermott, the bowler, and straight away, bang on target, but whipped away beautifully there by Gavaskar. He's very strong on his legs, loves that whip to the leg side, and straight away he's lost his bat. Well, it'll be interesting to see whether he put a hand in the crease there. Let's have a look what happens. Down it goes. Off he goes for the next run. I think he loses the bat here, and then I think he actually goes back, touches with his hand. Yes, well, that's a good boy. Go right in and touch down behind the line. Well, this is a real aggressive opening batsman, this fella. That one flicked away straight away on the leg side. Another lovely shot. It's been a bad start for the Indians. Both their batsmen off the mark, and Gilbert struggling to get a boot to that one. It's not bad timing. Srikanth is a very forceful opener. He won't be holding back at all, and have a look at this for an off-the-mark shot. And in the air it goes, and there's a big appeal from the Australians. Well, not really a big appeal, a stifled appeal. And it looks as if Boone's in trouble. It may well have dislocated a finger as he went for that one. Yes, they're calling for the doctor out there. It looks to me as if Boone has dislocated his little finger, and Boone gritting his teeth there as he runs off the ground. He's obviously in agony. They tend to recover a lot quicker if you pop them back in, and you've got to hope that the bloke who does it knows what he's doing. There we are, clonk, and that's the end of that. And he's going to have a precautionary x-ray. That's quite common, just in case there's a bit of chipping or anything like that. Back it goes, and I don't think McDermott could have picked that one up. It was hit straight back to him in the air. It seemed to me to be about a foot or two above his head.
He didn't time it. He hit it very high on the bat, and the hands don't even get fully extended. Srikanth, with the sort of condition of the wicket, it's probably not a bad idea to bat outside the line of the batting crease, but noticeable that Srikanth has done the exact opposite. He's gone right back to give himself extra time. That gives McDermott a better chance to pitch into the rough.
It's in the air, and what a catch! Brilliantly taken. No, it's not. Well, I thought that had stuck its slip.
Well, this one rears a nasty one. Turned him inside out. Hooks went a little late. It was a difficult chance. It was high above his hand. On the right, he seems to have done some damage to his knee too in that little exercise. But a nasty one. Srikanth turned right around there at right angles to the direction of the ball. Hooks, it would have been a great catch had he managed to grab that one.
Gavaskar and Srikanth have a few problems. Gilbert. The ball in, beautifully bowled. Well, Dave Gilbert with sheer pace there, beating the defences of Gavaskar. And what a breakthrough this is for the Australians. A vital wicket.
Well, Gavaskar, that's the wicket, the valuable one. The perfect off-cutter through the gate, nips back, and what a delivery. And what a great sound. The stumps go over, shattering of the timber. And there it is, the joy, the camaraderie. Marsh from bat pad congratulates his man, and a disappointed Sonny Gaskell leaves the scene. India are 1 for 15.
Craig McDermott is the bowler. Srikanth taking straight.
And through the slip gully region for 4.
That's a good shot there, Ian. And, maybe that was the case then, but he had a tour to the Caribbean where he was really dynamic. We just couldn't stop him scoring. No matter what field you set for him, he just seemed to sort of just went right through him.
But he's still very aggressive, and there's nothing like an aggressive opener to really spread the field. There's a second consecutive boundary for Srikanth. Great shot. Absolutely smashed that one down the ground. And as is his wont, he just walks backwards, doesn't worry about running.
Gilbert to Chris Srikanth.
And that's a good shot. That ball too wide from Dave Gilbert. And Srikanth giving it everything. And that's his 7th boundary. And down goes the fly slip. And being placed, well, he's probably not a fly slip. He's a bit deeper than that. It's probably an authentic third man, I'd say. That's a good shot. It's in the air. McDermott is under it, and he takes the catch. He hit that one pretty well. In fact, it's a no ball. And Craig McDermott can't believe what he's just been told.
I don't think Gilbert can believe it either.
And just to complete the irony, that is the first no ball of the match. India did not bowl a no ball.
Reed to Srikanth.
47, and this could be up his 50. McDermott's the first, but he won't cut it off. Beautifully played, Chris. Chris Srikanth playing all the shots. A fine start to the Indian innings. Glorious stroke play.
And that's certainly his game, to play his shots. He picked up a 50 in Adelaide in the first test against Australia, and he's done it again here at the MCG as he looks to the heavens and just acknowledges the applause from the crowd. 50 runs off only 53 balls in 68 minutes. 5 50s, but hasn't so far gone on to pick up a century.
Out, no, falls short, well bowled, an exciting over, just short of Alan Border. Srikanth survives, it's 1 for 78. He's gone, no, he's dropped. Phillips diving in front of Hooks at first slip, knocked the ball away. I guess Phillips had to go for it. It was going straight to David Hooks. It was almost waist high. Not only does it go down, but they score a run.
And a tremendous shot. He loves that square drive, Srikanth. McDermott won't cut it off. Oh, and that's got to have hurt. That's not going to do the fast bowler any good at all. He's getting up very gamely, but didn't look too good.
Gilbert to Chris Srikanth. Oh, what a good shot. 100 stand for Amarnath and Srikanth. When he hits them, they stay hit.
Yes, Richie, if you move the sight screen, it makes all the difference. Just that little bit of adjustment there, and he unleashes yet another boundary. And what a magnificent knock it's been our privilege to see here today. Amarnath really taking the back seat, and Srikanth doing the driving. And how, to all parts of the ground. Some of his on-driving has been delightful.
LBW to Dave Gilbert, who's broken through a second time, so Srikanth stays once again short of his century.
Yes, 86 runs. What a tragedy for himself to have given out LBW there. May have just taken the leg stump. He's out now for 86. 100 stand between himself and Amarnath, and really have set up the foundation for a fine Indian innings, chasing 262. So India now 2 wickets down for 116 at the MCG.
Just 35 overs gone. India 2 for 141. That's a scoring rate of just over 4 runs per over. Srikanth, the main contributor, 86. Sunil Gavaskar, he was out for 6.
That's a nice drive, but well fielded by Marsh. Diving away to his right.
Matthews to Mahinda Amarnath.
Good delivery from Greg Matthews. Not only, I think, has he improved his batting this year, but certainly his bowling too. He has a lot of variation with it. That was a quicker delivery, shorter delivery, and that spun.
Oh, and that's well bowled. One turning, and must have only just missed off stump and the bottom edge.
I think that shot was due to frustration. He's been quite tight. It was a bit quicker and a bit flatter. Spun, just missed off stump.
Reed to Dilip Vengsarkar.
That's well run. And extras here. In fact, there'll be 5 altogether. Greg Matthews letting that one go full bore, and Wayne Phillips couldn't get up there in time.
First mistake that Matthews has made. He was onto that very quickly. There's a rough chance for a run out. He came in, the pick up. The chance was on, but the throw was a bit high. And 4 bonus runs. Brings up the 150 for India.
Oh, and that one really turning.
Yes, this one just pitching outside off stump, turning back into Amanat. A long way.
And that one edged. I think it might have been on the full and hit straight into the ground. It's 2 for 156.
Yeah, that last ball, last over there, you see that Vinsaka sort of, sort of clipping it into the ground a little bit, and in any case, it bounced just in front of Alan Borden there. Not a catch there.
Once again, looking for that drift, but Amanat gets to that on the full. A beautiful shot.
Just floated a little more into the air. Amanat feet to the ball, driving right through the gap between the straightest of extra cover and the mid-off.
Bruce Reid, left arm over the wicket, bowling to Amanat.
And that one going through the gap between second slip and the gully. A 5th boundary to Amanat brings up the 50 stand. That 50 partnership coming in just 74 minutes off 119 balls. So they're maintaining a pretty good run rate. That's right up India's alley. They want to try and get a big score in the first innings, get a lead and leave their bowlers plenty of time to bowl out the opposition a second time.
Well, that's well bowled and up they go. He's got him at last. That's a beautiful delivery from Bruce Reid. He's been nagging away just outside that off stump. Well, perhaps he got the message, Maxie. Perhaps he did roll the fingers down on that one, and I'm sure it just moved off the seam fractionally away. Found the outside edge, and that's a big wicket to Australia.
Yes, he certainly did drag the fingers down the seam, down the inside pitch, and leaves him straight. The easiest of catches through to Phillips. And Amanat is on his way. Well, that's if you bowl well enough for long enough, you bowl straight enough, then you get your just reward. And certainly in the case of Bruce Reid, he did. Amanat, a very valuable knock there, 45 runs. Caught Phillips, bowled Reid, and India lose their 3rd wicket with a score of 172.
Greg Matthews to Vinsaka.
Oh, well bowled, he's got him. They're in the air. There's peel after appeal out there, but umpire Isherwood not impressed. Well, Matthews must have gone up 4 times. He thought there was a little inside edge, which then deflected to the slip fieldsman. I wonder if that didn't perhaps flick the stumps. It looked to me as if it beat the 3 for 176, and the umpires have just conferred and offered the light to the Indian batsmen. They are being consistent. It doesn't really look that bad out there, but I suspect it's going to be somewhere below 38 on our light meter. Borders having a stroll down the ground towards the umpires. He wants to have a little talk to them.
Good evening, welcome to the highlights. This is day 3 of the second test match between Australia and India at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Australia 262 all out in their innings, and yesterday at the close of play, India 3 for 187. The batsmen out: Gavaskar 6, Srikanth 86, Amanat 45, and not out overnight, Dilip Vinsaka on 38, Mohammad Azharuddin on 5. The bowling figures for Australia: McDermott not used very much, none for 33, didn't bowl all that well either. Gilbert 2 for 32, Reid 1 for 57, bowled much better than those bare figures might suggest. Bright none for 34, Matthews no wicket for 28. Well, the weather conditions, they forecast a temperature of 24. They said it was going to be lovely and bright and sunny all day. When we pick up play now, 6 runs have been added. It's the 4th over of the day. Matthews is bowling to Azharuddin. Your commentator is Ian Chappell, and with him is Max Walker.
Just short of David Hooks. That was the one that goes straight on, but it didn't carry.
So there again, not quite carrying, just out of reach. Fine delivery, the edge, and Hooks picks it up on the half volley.
That's nicely placed by Azharuddin. Hughes dives, but he can't stop the first boundary of the morning.
Gilbert to Vansaka.
And that's a good bit of fielding there by McDermott, moving across to his right, picking up one-handed and knocking the middle stump back. Be interested to see how far he'd got in his ground. It couldn't have been that far away.
No, that was a good call, and I think he felt that he was home, and he took a long time to put his bat to ground. But he was safely home. The running between the wickets this morning has been excellent. And on border there with quite a defensive field at the moment.
On leg stump and flicked away again. Boone chasing down towards square leg. Mohammad Azharuddin collects himself 3. And that's the end of Gilbert's over. It's 3 for 213. That was Bruce Reid, nice and close to the stumps and an edge straight away, just short of border. Well, they keep nicking him and they keep dropping just short of the slips.
Well, I don't think he attempted a shot. I think he meant to leave that one go, but didn't withdraw the bat. He sort of was half in the withdrawal stage. That probably saved him.
Mohammad Azharuddin is facing Gilbert, and that's driven away off the back foot. Nicely timed. The ball running away down towards the long boundary down there. Matthews is after it. He'll probably just get to it, but he's a long way away. That's good fielding. Restricts them to 3.
And there it is, and a good 50 as well. Playing to the plan and to the instructions from the skipper. Make sure that they get up near or past that Australian total of 262 without losing any more wickets. Very experienced player, Dilip Vansaka. Over 80 test matches, and he's only 28 years of age.
Beautiful delivery then from Bruce Reid. Unfortunately, there wasn't a man in there for that one that has been popped up. I can remember Ian Chappell mentioning last night in his commentary that he felt that there should have been a man hovering around about that area, probably just behind square leg. That was a very good delivery. Azharuddin just taking his eye off it. Didn't know exactly where it went. But Bruce Reid causing the young right-hander a lot of trouble.
Oh, what a good delivery that was. And pretty well taken by Wayne Phillips. And Vansaka with a smile on his face. Might be rather a nervous smile, I think, that one.
Oh, what a delivery. Every now and again he produces one like this, and that very nearly took his head off. Phillips ended up about a foot off the ground, managing to drag it down. Whew, what a ball.
Greg Matthews is the bowler. Azharuddin taking straight.
Catch is the yell. Matthews is delighted. Fieldsman has followed his orders, but umpire Isherwood says there's no bat there. Well, I can understand Greg Matthews being a little bemused. That appeared to come straight off the glove.
Matthews here is trying his heart out just to give his side a bit of edge.
That's a good shot from Azharuddin, and that breaks up a spell of very good bowling from the spinners. Azharuddin quick on his feet, getting to that one on the full.
It wasn't a bad ball, this. It's just floated a little. He just took it on the full. But good place in there, right between the mid-on and the straight mid-wicket. No chance of stopping that one, straight to the boundary.
Oh, and that one turns a lot. Beats everyone. David Hooks has quite a chase from first slip. And he just drags it back inside the gutter. 3 byes registered.
There's a lot of turn here for Matthews. Very good piece of bowling here again. This is over the wicket this time. That's about middle and off that turn in, beating Vansaka, Wayne Phillips, and a very, very good delivery there. Just perhaps a little bit too much turn. Having both batsmen and wicketkeeper in a little bit of trouble there.
It's rolled back onto the stumps and knocked the bails off. So finally, Australia have got the lucky break that they really have, well, they've earned it. They bowled extremely well this morning, and Greg Matthews, after having an appeal for a bat pad turned down with Azharuddin on strike, gets his man right on lunch.
And just look at the joy in Matthews there. Just watch it. Just a little bit of backspin here as he plays it. Rolls down just in front of the left toe. Rolls back onto the stumps. Oh, it's exactly what Australia wanted. Going to lunch, I would think, feeling very, very pleased. That wicket has fallen there. There it is again. There's absolutely nothing the batsman can do about it.
Bright coming around the wicket to Shastri. Beautiful player of spin and beautifully fielded. Once again, Matthews saving 4 runs, and what a tremendous boost he is in the field for the Australians, and the crowd, they love him.
And what a game he's having. 100 not out, picked up the wicket just before lunch, and this was a beautiful piece of fielding by him. Desperation personified.
Ravi Shastri, 23 years of age, vice captain of India. 500s, 850s, a batting average of 35. Reed back into the attack. Nice glance, races away, and that could be 4. There's been very few boundaries this morning. So 4 off the over, 4 for 254. Dropped, leg slip, the man was there, put in by Border. Steve Waugh, it was chest high. Craig McDermott's luck is out. Fine piece of captaincy by Border. Unfortunately, the catch went down.
But very close at leg slip, Bill. You don't get much time there. It's pure reflex. That flew to him, and that forced its way through his hands. And as you pointed out quite rightly, no luck whatsoever for Craig McDermott. That's what he needs, to pick up one of those. It was clipped nicely. It flew like a rocket. Steve Waugh probably would have hardly have seen that.
That's a good shot. Nicely timed by Vengsaka. And just appreciating a bit of width, and that was McDermott's problem yesterday with Srikanth. He gave him too much width.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, that's the bad delivery that Craig McDermott produces every now and again, and it's gone for 4-leg byes.
One of the unfortunate things about it, too, you find that when you're not bowling well, and you bowl that loose delivery that you usually do in the open Nova, it's clipped away for 4. I don't know how good a bowler Steve Waugh is, but seems to be a pretty well-built person. I'm sure that he'd be looking for that breakthrough that his captain so badly needs now.
And that's a good delivery. But no joy as far as wickets are concerned.
It's a very good ball here. If I may say so, very good action as well. Splendid action. Just outside our stump, just moving away slightly there, having the batsman deploy at it.
It's twice he's gone past the outside edge now. This is the sort of line we were talking about, either to be at off stump or fractionally outside it. 75 to Vengsaka. Matthews will get it. Well done, he deserves it. Well bowled. In good tight stuff by the Australians. Matthews has worked hard for that wicket. He's bowling his 24th over at the moment. They've only taken 47 runs from him. The Australians have set out with their plan today, and they've stuck to it. And good luck to them.
And Vengsaka really was going through a horror period, but well-deserved wicket by Greg Matthews, and there was no way known was he going to let anyone near that catch. He called it's mine, and a very safe pair of hands, taking it right in front of the eyes. So what a game he's having, the Australian all-rounder. So Vengsaka, very slow 75, out caught and bowled Greg Matthews, and the total for India 5 for 291.
Kapil Dev is the new batsman. Comes out now with the chance to swing this game in India's favour. If he's game enough to start playing his shots, he's such a marvellous attacking player that he could make a quick 80 without any trouble at all. Will he be game enough to do it, or will he allow himself to be tied down, as were Venkata and Shastri? Here's Matthews. Well, that might be the answer.
It looks as though his intentions are made pretty clear with that first shot. Just 2 runs. It looks as though he's going to start playing his shots right from the very start.
Kapil Dev looking in a very belligerent mood. Nice, easy stance at the wicket. Fine athlete.
And that's in the air, and there was an example of one bouncing a little bit, just going past the left hand, the outstretched left hand of David Boon. And that's it. Oh, he's dropped him. Well, now that's one that should have been taken. It looked to me as if Ray Bright didn't pick it up for a second, but it was hit straight at him. It wasn't a very good shot, a wide delivery. And Ray Bright, who's fielding at point, simply dropped it.
Matthews is bowling a very good line. Kapil Dev will try and hit with the spin through long on or mid-wicket.
That's cut away beautifully. That one just a little bit short. Wasn't a very good ball from Matthews, and struck right into the gap. There's no way they're going to catch that one. He's a beautiful timer of the ball.
It's like a nice southerly breeze coming across the ground today, Kapil Dev. He's put a bit of life back into this batting display. First he's forward, then back, and the talented all-rounder finds a gap as well.
The full toss, straight down the ground, and unless Bright can get across, which he won't, that'll be a boundary. And that's a beautiful shot through extra cover by Kapil Dev. Well, he may not have backed a winner this afternoon, but he certainly middled that one. Beautiful.
Binny and Shivarama Krishnan have both made first-class hundreds, so still plenty of batting to come. That's a tremendous shot from Kapil Dev. Not only does he have good timing, but he places the ball to perfection.
Yeah, that's a 350 there for India. Kapil Dev going after that one. He's hitting the ball pretty hard.
He came into the game needing 35 for the 3,000. He's now on 45, hence the 3,010 runs at an average of just over 30.
Dave Gilbert's going to continue. Well, that's in the air, but because he flashes at it, it's no good Hooksy getting carried away down there. That was miles over the top of his head, and it brings up Kapil Dev's 50. Well, he goes for that cut shot, and as a result of really going for it, anything he nicks is going to take some catching, and here's an example of one which flies in the air down to the boundary at third man.
Bruce Reid it is now, and Kapil Dev has taken a strike.
It's in the air, and he's got him. It's a deflection, a little bit lucky there. Well, they needed a break. Stephen Waugh got his hands to it. It deflected away to his left, and Hooksy moving around made the catch. Well, they needed that breakthrough, and boy, have they got rid of one of the real danger men in the Indian lineup.
Here's Kapil Dev, 55 runs. Goes the cut, and in typical VFL style, the handball's out. Hooks takes the handball, and at last Hooksy's grabbed one, but what a timely blow. Kapil Dev on 55 was looking very dangerous. Scored the runs at a very rapid rate, but the 6th wicket down. Kapil Dev 55 in about 56 deliveries. India 6 wickets down now for 370.
Bruce Reid to Binny.
Oh, he's hit him on the head, and it's caught. Well, I wonder, wasn't any glove there? Well, that smacked him straight on the side of the crash helmet. No one can say they aren't a good idea.
Well, certainly the insurance policy's worked. He's been paid in full for this one, right on top of the noggin. And a nasty crunch. It would have scattered the brains a little bit, but he's intact. He's going to take block again. Just a little shaken, but that one ballooned. So the bat nowhere near that one, but he did keep his eye on the ball right until the last moment.
Good job he's got that strap on too, otherwise it may well have knocked the crash helmet straight onto the stumps. He does bowl a ball, and there's, it's gone straight up in the air. This could be out. He's got another one. He bowls that bouncer so much quicker. What good bowling by Bruce Reid. He ran up, hit Roger Binney on the head with a bouncer, decided to try another one. Binney got himself in a terrible tangle, hit it straight in the air.
Well, that was the softener. The previous delivery did the damage. There's the bouncer. Clunk, and then he tried it again. Normally one would expect the thinking bowler to bowl the Yorker, but no, another one around about the ribcage throat area. Could only fend the ball away. The catch taken, and Roger Binney scores a duck on the MCG. It's a long walk off. And in India, 7 wickets down now for 3-7-2.
Ray Bright to Shastri. Mark that down as the sort of miss that wants to make a spin bowler go and open a vein.
Yes, we enticed him down. Tried to hit over long on, spun. Phillips got hit on the shoulders a long time coming up. It was a very difficult one. It certainly did bounce, but we've got a reasonable view of that one. When Phillips been struck on the shoulder.
Reid to Kirmani. Too short from Bruce Reid. Pays the penalty with 4 runs.
It's well played. He's short. Kirmani gets a full toss and he puts it away.
It's very frustrating.
And he's very good on the cut shot, Kirmani. Likes them out there. Ray Bright, the man chasing, will have to bowl the ball back in so they get 3 comfortably. And in fact, Kirmani's come back so quickly that they've got through for 4. That brings up the 400, and perhaps a little oath there under the breath from Wayne Phillips as he gets one on the end of the fingers.
Steve Waugh is the bowler. Shastri takes strike.
Edged, and Wayne Phillips takes a great catch. So Stephen has declared war on India to get his first wicket in Test cricket.
Well, what a moment for the young man from New South Wales playing in his first Test match. It was horrific out there for him with the bat, but now just reward. What a great catch by Phillips too. It hasn't been easy behind the stumps. So Waugh gets a wicket and a pat from his little mate Greg Matthews. So Shastri leaves the scene, a defiant knock, and India have lost their 8th wicket. Shastri making 49, 8 for 420.
Waugh to Kirmani.
Edged and taken by Wayne Phillips. Kirmani hangs around just to check that Wayne Phillips has caught it. So Steve Waugh picks up his 2nd wicket. Both of them catches to the keeper.
Yes, well, keeper Kirmani edged that one. It went low to Phillips. Steve Waugh gets his 2nd. Kirmani makes 35. A fine tail-end innings by Kirmani, but joy for the young fella, Steve Waugh. So India's 9th wicket down now with a score at 425.
Beside Kirmani's wicket fell at 425. That was the 9th one down as far as the Indians were concerned. There were more overs to be bowled to take the total up to the number required by the umpires for the day, and India finished with 9 for 431 at the close. Shiva Ramakrishnan was 6 not out and Shivlal Yadav 2 not out. Batsmen today, Venkata 75, Azharuddin 37, Shastri 49, Kapil Dev, brilliant 55. In only 56 balls, he made 55 out of 79. Binney no score, outthought by Reid, good bowling from him, and Kirmani out for 35. The partnership between Shastri and Kirmani, a most valuable 48 in 48 minutes. The bowling figures for the Australians, McDermott none for 52 was disappointing today. Gilbert 2 for 75. Reid 3 for 92. Bright none for 76. Matthews 2 for 81. And Waugh came in with 2 good spells of bowling. 11 overs, 5 maidens, 2 for 36. He's about medium pace, rather a brisk medium pace, and he holds the ball seam up. and looks quite a good prospect as an all-rounder. We know he can bat, and he showed today that as a medium pacer, he could turn out to be quite a useful all-rounder. Well, the Australian bowlers, I thought, were magnificent today. They bowled really well to a tight tactical line. They did exactly what Border wanted, but I'm afraid the fielding wasn't as good. There were 4 chances put down in the innings, one yesterday. The first one was in the 19th over. That was Srikanth when he was dropped by Phillips off Reed when he was 61. And the Indian total at that stage was 1 for 85. Then in the 91st over, Ravi Shastri, the all-rounder, was dropped by Waugh at leg slip, a hot one off McDermott. Batsman was only 6 at the time, and India 4 for 255. Then into the 109th over, Kapil Dev, the skipper, he went on to make 55, but he was only 6 when he was put down off Stephen Waugh by Ray Bright at backward point. The Indian total at that stage 5 for 298. In the 128th over, Shastri was missed a stumping chance off Ray Bright. Bright spun the ball quite sharply from off some of that rough, dry stuff. Shastri at that stage was 36, and the total 7 for 378. So I reckon the Australians could be sitting back tonight thinking that if they'd held their chances and the stumping as well, that they might well have restricted the Indian lead to something around about the 80 or 90 mark. You've just got to hold your chances in this class of cricket and when you're on a pitch of this kind. So India's lead of 169 is most valuable. It was an entertaining day's play. Thought the Australians fought very hard. India played to their plan. It came off as far as they were concerned, but they were given a little bit of an assist in the field, and they're right on top at this moment. Good night. The 4th day of the second Test match between Australia and India at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Welcome to the highlights. The Indians starting off at 9 for 431 today, and they sent out Shiva Ramakrishnan and Shivlal Yadav to frustrate the Australians and pick up as many runs as they could. In fact, that number turned out to be 14, and the story of the last half hour of their innings is told with these 2 deliveries.
Edged, and Wayne Phillips and David Hookes just stand there and watch it go by. And Bruce Reid is not amused, nor is the skipper.
So there can be no excuse whatsoever for that one. Certainly a lack of confidence by both players there. So it's been a bad start by the Australians this morning. 2 snicks going through that slip area.
And edged and taken this time by Wayne Phillips. Very good bowling from Bruce Reid, but not such good wicket-keeping from Wayne Phillips. They say you've got to touch them for it to be a chance, but I don't care about that rule. I would have marked the previous one down as a chance to Wayne Phillips.
Bruce Reid picked up 4 wickets in Adelaide, and he's followed suit here again in Melbourne with a very good piece of bowling once again.
445 for India. That partnership yesterday between Shastri and Kirmani, 48, very valuable. And the one between Shiva Ramakrishnan and Shivlal Yadav, broken by the dismissal of Shiva Ramakrishnan, added 20 in 29 minutes. 445, that's a very, very good lead. 183 runs for India, and the Australian bowlers, hard though they worked, really had to struggle out there. McDermott, a little disappointing, none for 52. Gilbert, 2 for 81. Reid, a very good performance once again, his second Test match, 4 for 100. Bright, none for 76, and Matthews, 2 for 81, with Steve Waugh coming in yesterday for 2 valuable wickets, 2 for 36 in 11 overs. But when the Australians began their second innings, they didn't send out Wayne Phillips to open with Boone. Jeff Marsh came out, and we pick up play now in the second over. Amanat is coming in, and he's bowling to Boone.
It's in the air and cut away down towards third man. There's no one down there. Laxman Shiva Ramakrishnan's after it, but he won't get to it. So Australia off the mark.
Kapil Dev bowling to Boone.
He gave it plenty of bat, but it wasn't all that convincing.
It's well played. All the way along the ground. Nicely timed to the upfield. Really is quick. The ball racing away down towards the mid-wicket boundary. Well, that's a good shot for David Boone. That'll do his confidence a lot of good.
Kapil Dev now to Jeff Marsh. Shot. Lovely stroke off the front foot by Jeff Marsh.
Kapil Dev straying outside the off stump. Another nice shot, that one from Jeffrey Marsh. Magnificent. Big boundary, long chase for Chetan Sharma. And a tremendous throw. That one's almost 80, 90 metres. Tremendous throw.
Good catch. Brilliant cricketer, this fellow. Fine batsman, very good opening bowler, and a brilliant fielder.
Well, I don't think I should talk too often. Richie, caught and bowled. Hits it straight back. And on board of the Australian captain, hit one back too to Sivarama Krishna. And this time, Kapil Dev takes just his second wicket in the match. And Boone is on his way, a disappointed man. And Australia won for 32.
Shastri to Marsh. Well, that's a good example of what I was talking about the pitch and that little bit of beach in front of the batsman. Good reply to the one that fizzed past him at waist height. 5 from that over, it's 1 for 38. Get 4 for that, but there was one moment where he must have wondered about the advisability of chasing it outside the off stump. Shivraj Yadav to border. There's a chance that can be cut off by Rajinder Singh Gai, but they should get 3. Decided against the 4th. Marsh was starting off. The throw was well on its way.
There. The big kick was square leg, a good sweep there by Marsh. It's a very bad misfield. The ball was just traveling about 10 metres or so to his right. He got across it fairly well, but as you see here, he's just taking his eyes off the board a little bit.
Shastri to Marsh.
Oh, and that's fairly close. That's the arm ball. It's hit the back leg. Ray Isherwood had a long look there before he shook the head.
Well, this must have been very close. No shot offered. The ball hit the back leg, and unless it was missing leg stump, well, that was very adjacent. Very confident and justifiably confident appeal there. Ravi Shastri just a little mystified by that one, and indeed, so was Marsh.
That's in the air and straight to Sivarama Krishnan in the covers. So Ravi Shastri has got his man. He thought he had him the ball before. LBW, it was not to be. But he fell caught in the covers by Sivarama Krishnan.
Yes, he looked to me to have been just a little bit frustrated there, decided to go for it, and as a result of the ball stopping just a little bit and turning, he hit it straight to Sivarama Krishnan at extra cover. Not a great shot by young Jeff Marsh. He's not very happy with that. And as a result, he's now out 19. He scored, and it's 2 now for 54.
David Hawkes batting at number 4 for Australia in this second innings. Has a test average of 35.29. Not only batting for Australia's survival, but perhaps for his own survival in Test cricket. Since he's come back into the side, he hasn't been able to build up the big innings that he would like, that it would keep his spot safe. He'll have a battle on his hands here, and a shout from Ravi Shastri, and he's been given out. Ray Isherwood had a long look. There was sort of some doubt, I think, whether the fieldsman had caught it for a moment. There was a bit of juggling and scrambling going on, and in fact they almost collided, and that could well have been what the problem was, that it bounced out of the hand. You see the fieldsman discussing it.
Yes, they nearly messed it up, it seems to me. They obviously sound as if there was a little bit of bat and pad in that. It went straight up in the air, and this is where it all went wrong. They collided. It went on its way down, then they clutched it to the chest, and that was it. The big plead, and eventually umpire Isherwood raising the finger. And David Hooks on his way back to the pavilion, out first ball.
Well, here's something for Steve Waugh. He's in his first Test match, and he's come in now facing a hat-trick. Hasn't faced a ball yet in this, the second innings. He gets well forward and at least averts the hat-trick. The book of hat-tricks in Test cricket has just been closed.
And it's going to be Shivalal Yadav take up the attack again from the members' end, bowling around the wicket. Very attacking offside field setting for him. 2 slips, man at short forward point.
That's beautifully played. Right up in the slot for Border there, and he used his feet beautifully. Got to the pitch of the ball and really steered it through the offside field. Lovely timing.
And even though it's very tough out there at the moment, he was able to just break those shackles loose and put it away.
Oh, and that one beats the outside edge, or perhaps it did find the outside edge. It certainly beat Kimani, and indeed carried past the slip's right hand. So 4 signalled by umpire French.
This was an amazing number of catches in this Test match. Escaped through that slip area. A healthy edge. Gavaskar just a little wide at first slip. Just eluded the pad too of Kilmarnie.
Some sharp turn from around about off stump, and Border deciding to treat that spin by sweeping it away, and what a beautiful sweep shot that was. Pitched around about leg stump, spun back onto the bat, but was timed beautifully, beating a man down there at deep square leg.
What an eventful over so far, but a beautiful timing, as Tony Greig said. Chidham Sharma, who was down there, only had to get around about 10 yards to try and cut that one off. It was hit with such tremendous timing that it beat him into the boundary. So 2 fours off this over to Alan Border.
Down the wicket he comes, and a lovely drive. That'll beat the field too.
Four balls. 3 certainly off the middle of the bat, and 1 off the outside edge.
Yadav bowling this time towards in the end. Did he drop it? Well, the hands go up onto Yadav's head. I'm sure that he put that down. That one turned sharply, and Gavaskar at leg slip dropping one. Let's have another look.
What an eventful over, right up the top of the bat, about ankle high. Nearly had a second chance to get that one. I would think that the Indians will certainly have a look at that field setting for Alan Border, but they maintain an attacking one for Waugh.
That's well played. He plays that shot very well. That ball was short, and young Stephen Waugh onto it quickly, pulling it away through mid-wicket, vacant mid-wicket area. And no doubt about that one going to the boundary right from the minute he hit it.
And the aggressive attitude of Alan Border rubbing off on the youngster. And that was a good shot. Back onto that back foot. He picked up the length of that very quickly indeed and put it away for 4 runs. So his first boundary. The Indians out there just trying to give a bit of encouragement to the bowlers.
He's bowled him round the legs. I suspect that one came off the pad and then flicked the leg bail. And Stephen Waugh going for the sweep shot there. Unlucky, I suppose, in a way, the ball flicking the pad and then somehow getting onto the stumps. Whether or not he dragged it back, I'm not too sure.
Well, there seemed to be a certain amount of doubt about that one, Tony, as to whether the ball came off Kilmarnie's pads or not, but it certainly didn't. Just came off the front pad of Steve Waugh and then just ballooned back onto that middle and leg stump. Nothing he could really do about that. Going for the sweep, up it goes, and then just lobs onto that middle and leg stump. And jubilation for the Indians. Certainly been a lot of action here at the MCG since lunch. So India getting that wicket that they wanted. Waugh out bowled Shastri for 5, and Australia now 4 for 84.
Matthews now has the strike, and it's Ravi Shastri to continue. And that's a short ball, and Sri Kant at forward short leg wouldn't have enjoyed that too much. I think he jumped about 3 foot in the air as Matthews went for the pull shot. And a little chat with the bowler there saying, hey, look, I'm in the firing line when you drop them short.
It's a miss.
It's a little bit of good fortune there playing border. But that's what you need in a situation like this.
Nice way to reach a 50. Ball was a bit short, but he gave it some real hammer out there on the offside.
Yes, again, a very well played 50 by Alan Border here. It's exactly what Australia needs. And they'll be needing him to go on to get another 50 or 2, if he possibly can. Because with the fall of another wicket or even 2 will set Australia even further back than they are at the moment. At the moment, they're just plugging away there to wipe off this deficit.
Oh, and that one's got him in the side of the head. That one hitting the little bit of beach there and bouncing right up into his face. And that one lofted away. It'll just clear Azharuddin. No, he's got it. What a good catch. I thought for a moment that it was going to clear him, but he made ground exceptionally well, and what a well-judged catch that was.
Well, how often do you see the long hop take a wicket? Sivarama Krishnan dropped it in short. It spun a bit, and Matthews goes after it with the spin, tugged it away high, way into the outfield. And Azharuddin, a good catch running away from the line of flight. A very good catch. Elated Sivarama Krishnan. And the man that scored 100 not out in the first innings is on his way. Australia lose their 5th wicket with the score at 126 and trail by 57.
Kapil Dev taking Sivarama Krishnan off, bringing Shastri back on.
Good change of pace and variation. That brings up Alan Border's 1,000 runs in calendar year once again in Test cricket.
So in doing that, Bill becomes only the first Australian to do it on 2 occasions.
Phillips is a hitter with the ball, timer. And he mustn't allow the bowler to dictate the terms because his best weapon is his attack. Full pitch, and he gets that away. That's Wayne Phillips can do. That's 4 runs.
And even as he clubbed that one away, he was pretty tight. For a moment, it looked as though he was going to let that full toss get away from him.
In the air, Azharuddin going hard. He's going hard. Doesn't quite make it. Great effort by the young man. Phillips going for the half sweep over mid-wicket. Picks up 2 runs. There's overthrows, at least 1. So Phillips gets 4 from the miss hit. So a bit of excitement there. The possibility of a chance. And then the overthrows. 7 off the over. 5 for 153.
And they still keep that scoreboard ticking over. It's a very accurate Indian attack.
Up they go, and they've given him. At last, Yadav has got the inside edge, and Wayne Phillips is on his way back to the pavilion. Caught it forward short leg.
This is how it happened. The bat pad. Yes, Yadav. The pressure around the bat. Catch taken for Srikant, 2nd for the innings. And there it is, the umpire, Ray Isherwood, gives him out. Yadav takes the wicket, and Australia's 6th wicket down. Phillips making 13, and Australia 6 for 1, 6-1, still 22 behind.
Well, there's the sweep shot. That's in the air. This could be out, just short of the fieldsman. Chetan Sharma running in quickly there, and a little shake of the head and a twiddle of the wrist there, suggesting it didn't quite get to him.
Shastri bowls now, and Bright has taken strike.
Oh, and that one turns and just dropped short of Gavaskar at slip. Hit the outside edge and didn't carry.
2 runs from 22 balls faced so far for Ray Bright.
That's a good shot from Ray Bright. The straight drive. and that'll bring him his first boundary. So he's still able to take toll of the loose ball, although he's concentrating mainly on defence. Australia trailed by just 1 run.
Beats cover, that's 4. Well played, Ray Bright. The full pitch, found the gap. Lead by 12. It was a run, but it was a full pitch. Cover couldn't quite make it. And away it went.
And there's nice placement again for 4. Good over for Ray Bright. Common sense play.
Certainly is. The young leg spinner losing control and paying the penalty. It's not easy when you're in a defensive frame of mind to put the loose ball away, and Ray Bright's done that. Kapil Dev. Got him. First ball, yes, plum. What a good breakthrough. The skipper comes on just at the right moment. Ray Bright back and across, no doubt whatsoever. A great bit of work by the Indian captain.
Good captaincy and good bowling. Absolutely plum. Nothing you can do about that. It hustled back at him. Very well bowled. And no hesitation from the umpire. Nothing you could do about that.
Ray Bright, after a fighting knock, departs for a 20 or 41 run partnership between Bright and his captain, Australia, 7 for 202.
Shastri to McDermott.
Gets away from the strike, and that's comforting for Border. Going for 2. Good running by Craig McDermott.
Just 1 ball to go, so Border's quite happy to get down to the non-strikers end, where he'll be able to face Kapil Dev next over.
Gone, dear, oh dear. Alan Border shakes his head, and well he might. When you're fighting to save off a defeat, you just can't believe a stroke like that. And Shastri picks up another wicket, and Australia reeling at 8 for 202, but he scratches his head, and so am I, Alan.
That's a little picture without words.
Reid is on strike to Yadav, surrounded by Indian fieldsmen. Oh, and a good delivery, a shout there from Yadav and the Indian fieldsman. But umpire Ray Isherwood is unmoved, absolutely unmoved, despite numerous appeals.
Here we are again. 40 comes off the edge. No doubt. Really, the master takes it comfortably.
Border goes over the top of the infield. His first boundary for almost 50 overs, and that takes him to 98. So he'll have a good night's sleep and be able to ready himself for a century tomorrow.
The last day of the second Test match between Australia and India at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Welcome to the highlights. Australia began with a lead of 45, but with only 2 wickets in hand. They were 8 for 228 at the start of play, with Border on 98. Bruce Reid was on 11. He'd done well yesterday afternoon. Was still there with Dave Gilbert, the extra man, to come in. 8 for 228, and the bowling figures for India, dominated by Kapil Dev, 2 wickets, Shastri 4, and 1 each to Shivlal Yadav, the off-spinner, and Shiva Ramakrishnan, the leg spinner. Well, the weather was forecast as the chance of showers and thunderstorms later in the day. The Australians will have been looking at that with rather an eager eye, the position they were in with just the 45-run lead. The Indians, they'd have been a little more hesitant as they looked up at the skies. We pick up play now in rather gloomy conditions, with the second over being bowled. Shivlal Yadav is coming in to bowl to the left-hander Bruce Reid, and 3 runs have been added. Your commentators Ian Chappell and Bill Lurry.
Yadav then just pointed to that backward square leg position, saying to Kapil Dev, I want a man there. And in fact, Shivarama Krishnan is now going to that position. And that's a good piece of thinking by the bowler. Immediately in that area, and he picks up the wicket. So that was a tremendous piece of thinking there by Yadav. It was quite obvious, but not only did he produce the piece of thinking, but then he produced the ball to get it hit in that area. Good work.
Well, they had 3 chances this morning, and there it goes. Good sharp catch at Red Gully. And the 9th wicket falls, and Alan Border remains 99 not out. A good piece of bowling, and Bruce Reid departs for fighting 13-9 for 2-3-1.
Dave Gilbert averaging 6 in 5 test matches with the bat. 12 not out, his highest score. He's a pretty handy man with tail-enders. He hung around in the first innings for Greg Matthews to get his 100. That'll be his first consideration out there with Alan Border. Border on 99. And in fact, Border will have that opportunity now because he's on strike to Ravi Shastri. And Border soon fixes that up. He lost the ball over square leg for a boundary, and that brings up his 16th Test century.
And tremendous applause from the Indians as well. There's the good crowd in this morning. They appreciate this brilliant knock and a difficult wicket. And Alan Border, never nervous in the 90s, picked that up, swung it away with the spin, brings up the 100, made under enormous pressure. Great concentration, good stroke play when necessary. Well played, Alan Border, once again.
Good shot. That'll be boundary number 10 for Alan Border. So having reached the century, now he's going to try and post as many runs for India to chase as possible.
Shastri to Gilbert.
Shot to catch it. Shrikant does that. There's an appeal from Shastri, but I don't think it came off the glove. I think that's what he thought it had done. Glove onto body or thigh pad, and then to Shrikant. And a good take there from Kiamani. Gee, he's done some good work in this game. But he must have gone very close there. Border just got the bat down, but by Jove, that was a good piece of work from Kiamani. Amazing that he's only got 1 dismissal for the game, really. And that one he's got safely away past deep backward square leg. So the tactic hasn't really worked anyhow because he still picked up a boundary.
No, we'll cut it in matches.
And he attempts to go over the top, has done so. And in fact, he'll probably look for 3 here. And gets it quite comfortably. So once again, he's thwarted the Indian tactics and taken 9 from that over.
Here's Kapildev coming in to the Australian captain, Alan Border.
That's a glorious shot. That's been a rarity during this painstaking innings of discipline and commitment. But that's the Alan Border we know.
Shastri to Gilbert.
Oh, and that one beat slip. And Lakshman Shivarama Krishnan is coming in there very close. He'd got himself, I should think, right on the return crease. Now, did he hit the edge? Yes, it did. So Gilbert gets 3. He's off the mark. I don't think that one carried. It just deflected past the wicketkeeper and then down on past
He'll go
Gavaskar.
for 4. Border may well have preferred 3. That was a glorious stroke. The lead now is 97.
Border goes over the top, just over mid-on, but that's all you need. And he adds another 4 runs to that lead.
That's his 14th boundary. That didn't clear mid-on.
He's got the inside edge. Simply the Border will get 4. I think he was more interested in a single. I think he was more interested in a single.
So Alan Border has reached 150. That was just over the top of the state.
In fact, it takes Alan Border to 150 for the 6th time in Test cricket.
Just 1 ball to go now, and Border looking for the 1.
And is the sweep shot. Srikanth is there. Trouble at the bowler's end, but it's a bad return. So Border is home. Dave Gilbert was always running. Border had a problem because he played the shot and wasn't in a great position to run. Srikanth made a good save, but the throw didn't match the save.
So this could be a testing little time here for Dave Gilbert. We've been suggesting right since the start of play that the leg spinner should have been given an opportunity.
To make sure that Gilbert does get 3 deliveries. Well, he's whacked one away for 4. A full toss. I think that was the attempted wrong one.
Yes, he's bowled a few full tosses in this test match, one of which, of course, got Border out the first innings. But that was a pretty confident shot by Dave Gilbert. Straight onto the front foot as he saw it was over-pitched, and he smacked that through extra cover down to the boundary for 4.
Off spinner coming around the wicket. Border goes, he'll look for 2, he'll get it. What a tremendous knock. The placement's been there, the timing, the judgment of the runs.
This has been a superb innings by the Australian opener. Difficult wicket to contend with. The fact that he was running out of partners, he came in at number 3, so he's seen 8 men fall down at the other end, and he's still there fighting it out to the very bitter end.
Now the field comes in, only the slip in a catching position. Got him, I think. Good stumping, a brilliant piece of work, and that's what the Indians want. But what a magnificent stumping. The field was in as it should have been all innings. Border went for the big hit down the ground, and Kilmarnie had the bails off in a flash. A beautiful stumping.
Kapil Dev came rushing in there, congratulating Kilmarnie on that stumping. Alan Border just looking to hit it over the top, was a little bit wide of him. He went straight down the wicket, didn't go towards the ball, and a good piece of work by Kilmarnie, and also a very useful breakthrough by Yadav.
Well, what a great performance that was from Alan Border. One of the finest innings he's ever played, and a super partnership there between the Australian skipper and Dave Gilbert. 77 runs and a terrific performance by the number 11. A good show of dedication by him. Not the first time he's done it either. Australia finished at 308. Border 163 from 358 balls faced, 16 boundaries in that lot. And the partnership 77 in 114 minutes. Those minutes just as valuable to Australia because there's always the chance of those showers and thunderstorms that have been forecast actually hitting the ground. The bowling figures for India: Kapil Dev 2 for 53. Amarnath Nunn for 9 was off the field today. Shastri 4 for 92. Shivlal Yadav 3 for 84. And Shiva Ramakrishnan 1 for 43. Well, India opened up with Sunil Gavaskar and Chris Srikanth once again. We pick up play now with Gilbert bowling to Srikanth. Your commentators are Bill Laurie and Keith Stackpole.
It's gone for it. It's in the air, but it's safe.
So India off the mark in their chase for 126. Gilbert just a little bit too short. I had the feeling there that the Australians may have been planning those tactics against the aggressive Indian opener. Very strong driver of the ball and out of the Sydney Test match against the New Zealanders some 6 or 7 weeks ago. So this is an important little stint for him.
Fine shot. Beautifully played. Fastest runner in the Australian team after it, Matthews. Restricts the shot to 3. 3 off the over, no wicket for 8.
Beautiful driver. Magnificent square cut, and he doesn't mind to hit across the line no matter how early in innings. He goes for his shots.
Well bowled. That one beats the outside edge. A beautiful ball. That's the right line to bowl. Nag away on off stump and just outside.
Gilbert really striving for that extra yard of pace.
That is a beautiful Yorker too. Right on the foot, probably going down the leg side. That wouldn't have done Srikanth's foot any good at all. And that one's hit down the ground. And bouncing away down towards deep mid-off. Matthews flying down there and doing one of those rake-back fielding efforts of his, and he did it well too.
It's a good chase by Matthews. He didn't quite get it right, Srikanth.
Way down the ground. Reed has beaten Srikanth. Gone past the outside edge. And the answer from this dashing player is put one foot down and smash it straight down the ground.
That's the way to play too, as Ian Chappell said earlier. When you're chasing a short total, you don't want to get the collie wobbles. You want to go after them and play a natural game.
Those showers and thunderstorms that have been forecast have not raced in so far.
And Ray Bright going to bowl from the members or northern end. He's after him. It's in the air. He's out. No, he's not. Just fell short. Marsh diving forward. It was a long hop. Srikanth went after it. Just fell short. Beautiful batsman, this man. He's composed, beautifully balanced. Has great concentration as well.
Well, just can't afford to have those sort of things happen. By as it is, so it goes down as a chance, a stumping chance.
No wicket for 37. Got him, dragged it on, going for the drive through cover. Gavaskar out to Reed, this young man having a wonderful season. The angle was there, Gavaskar looking for a squarish cover, got the inside edge back onto the stumps.
Well, one relieved man out there will be Wayne Phillips, who put him down off Ray Bright. Reed has done a very good job since coming into this side, and not just with the figures, but also with the technique he's used. 87 needed by India when that wicket fell.
Got him! Gee whiz, how did that miss? Through for a bye. How did that miss the stumps?
I thought it actually hit the stump. There's a definite sound there. I thought it nicked the outside of off stump. Just a whisker.
Still a fair amount of turn in this pitch. And Bright a little unlucky then not to have picked up at least one wicket.
Oh, and that's a good shot. Wasn't all that short, and it didn't bounce that much. And he's hit it right in the middle of the bat. What a magnificent shot. And I think you might say that he's got an eye like a dead fish, this bloke.
That was an incredible shot by Srikanth.
And he bounces that one in front of David Hooks. Comes off Hooks' knee, and Srikanth gets a single. India need a further 72 for victory, and a slice of luck there for Srikanth. That ball bouncing just in front of David Hooks at first slip and collecting him on the knee. And a chance there for Phillips, and he can't take that one.
Well, poor old Ray Bright cannot take a trick. That was certainly probably the easiest stumping that Wayne Phillips has had in this innings. A couple of the others have kicked, but this one seemed to maintain its normal length. Srikanth coming down. Phillips had a good look at that one. All he had to do was just glove it, bring the gloves back to the stumps, and once again it eluded him. Srikanth's right down the track. He was stranded. All he had to do was take it into the mid-drift and out. So what a game Wayne Phillips is having. Picked up 4 in the Indian first innings. Already got the breakthrough here.
Edged, and that one goes straight to Ray Bright. That ball bouncing off a good length. So finally, Bruce Reid gets rid of Srikanth, and Ray Bright took a part in the dismissal. He probably would have liked to have had the name up there, or the wicket against his name, but at least he's got the catch.
That one popped up a little bit on Srikanth, landing right on that spot. Srikanth looking to edge it away through that slip area. It just held up on him, picked up the outside edge and presented Ray Bright with a rather simple catch. But Bruce Reid, that's 6 wickets in this match for him now, and India 2 for 57, still needing 69 runs. They seem to have lifted their fielding. And they're desperate to try and make it pretty tough for these Indians to get these runs.
That's another good delivery from Bruce Reid. So I think it's time for someone to step forward for India and start to play a few shots. Or a good delivery from Bright.
Just beat the outside edge. Ray Bright, beautiful piece of bowling, right on leg stump, and that spun viciously, and that was better, much better taken by Phillipsen. He rode that one, had the gloves there.
And that's a very good spell of bowling. 7 overs there from Ray Bright, and very unlucky to have none for in the wicket column. So that's the situation here at the MCG. 2 wickets down. Amarnath and Vengsarkar still at the crease. We'll be back in a moment with Richie Benaud.
Well, you've all heard about the glorious uncertainty of cricket. It's a cliche. It's come along with the game over the years. Now you've seen it, because India were very, very warm favourites to win this Test match. But I suppose they'll feel badly done by the fact that they weren't able to get those extra 67 runs for victory. But a tremendous effort from Alan Border and Dave Gilbert today. The Australians didn't distinguish themselves in the field in the Indian second innings, but they managed to escape simply because of the rain. Now, down in the presentation area, here's Tony Greig with the 2 captains and the man of the match.
Bad luck. You looked very, very frustrated out there when Alan Border was batting with Dave Gilbert.
Well, it was. Last batsman in, and you're looking for that particular wicket, and it looked frustrated for anybody. I think it was very hard not to get them out at that time.
Are you conscious of that elusive Test victory as captain? Were you conscious of it out there?
No, I mean, that's if I have to, in my career, if I win Test matches, I win. If I don't win, I can't help it. But it was very close, and it wasn't that. It was more important, number 11 batting with the captain, and they were just surviving and staying. The wicket was quite useful for spinners till I think they managed.
Do you think it was a good Test wicket?
Not in first day. I think it was a lot of moisture was there, and after that it keep improving. I think it's all right if we get a wicket like this last day or 4th day after tea, where the ball start turning, and not for very first day.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
Right, well, that was Kapil Dev. Alan Border looking relatively happy by comparison with what he looked like just prior to that partnership. You too, actually, just prior to your partnership with Dave Gilbert, were looking pretty sorry for yourself there for a while.
Well, I mean, you know, the state of the game was very much in India's way. I suppose it's just a matter of hanging in there the best you can, and as I've said earlier, Dave Gilbert, you know, did it in the first innings, and he was pretty determined that he wasn't going to get out, and he said so on numerous occasions. So I suppose, you know, gave me a certain amount of confidence to, you know, play a few shots and also let him take a certain amount of the bowling, and it just proved to be sort of successful formula.
You said earlier that you've been waiting for a bit of luck, and that rain was the bit of luck you needed, and that may just change things for you.
Well, I firmly believe we've played a little bit of inexperienced cricket, you know, over the past 5 days, but I don't think a lot of luck went our way. And you know, today in the first session, it was you know, a lot of things went for us, and then obviously the rain this afternoon. So maybe, you know, we've turned the corner as far as you know, a lucky situation goes, and something good will happen for us in Sydney.
Right, well look, I've got the Man of the Match award for you. You have been elected the Man of the Match, your $1,000. Sorry about the rest of the cash, that's all jackpotting to Sydney, but good luck up there.
Thanks very much, Tony.
Thank you, Alan Border. Back to you, Richie.
Thanks, Tony. Well, disappointment there for the Indian side, and a lot of pleasure in both personal performance and in having got out of the loss situation from Alan Border, the Australian captain. A marvellous performance from him. The two teams now go for the New Year test to Sydney. It's going to be a good contest up there. We've seen what the Indian spinners can do. Bob Holland is in the Australian squad for that match. It should be a thoroughly good game. We look forward to having you with us then. For the moment, it's goodbye from the Channel 9 commentary box.